little bit about the next step for you after Santa Clara.
Okay, so I'll be staying in the Bay Area next year, going up the Bay, the East Bay, to Berkeley. It's actually a joint program between UCSF and UC Berkeley in bioengineering, a PhD program. So the way it works is you spend 1 year rotating through different labs. That can be at either the UCSF campus with their phenomenal medical school, or Berkeley, which is obviously world-renowned for its engineering. So after this first year, you settle into a lab and spend 3 or 4 more years generally doing research and doing either basic science or more maybe translational research in a clinical setting. So that's, yeah, that'll be 4 or 5 more years for me. But I'm looking forward to this educational journey because I don't think I would be doing it if I wasn't confident. That's what I wanted to do.
And what do you want to do with all this education?
Yeah, right. You know, that's normally people's next question. And to be honest, I'm not totally sure because I have some time to think about it. But you know, at this point, you know, I think we all know the Bay Area is a great place for startups, entrepreneurs, ambitious people, right? So I think with the PhD, I'm in an especially good position to be one of those people who starts that medical device company, who maybe recognizes that clinical need and invents the next, you know, vascular stent or something like that. So being the guy who can research at a high level but also do business is sort of what I want to do. So I want to go into industry and really be a game changer there.
Well, it sounds like you've got some time to figure it out, but let's talk about the stuff you've already done, because you've done some amazing work at Santa Clara, and I'm going to read this because I want to make sure I get it right. But so you've worked on developing arsenic detecting devices for water in the developing world, which that's pretty impressive. Tell us a little bit about what attracted you to that endeavor.
Right, so it was my sophomore year, and I had a professor in bioengineering, Dr. Ashley Kim, who's my advisor to this day. And she, well, I guess I initially was one who approached her with the idea of becoming a research assistant because I realized that would be a great transition for me in the next few years as I move on to grad school. So she proposed this research idea, which was, how do we detect arsenic in water? You know, I'm sure many of you are familiar with arsenic contamination is a huge problem, mainly in the Southeast Asia, Bangladesh, India, where mainly due to lack of infrastructure and adequate portable technologies, there are millions of people who are suffering from arsenic contamination, which is really cancer-causing. It can cause multiple skin disorders. So the challenge is, how do you develop a device that is frugal, meaning it's cheap and effective, but it also serves the needs of the people in those regions. So we've developed a device that's, without going into too much details, is electrochemical. It's small, portable, about the size of a deck of cards, and we compare it to a glucose meter. So that's also an electrochemical device. People who measure their blood glucose, diabetics, right? We've adapted that technology for arsenic, and allows us to test for arsenic at a fraction of the cost at the site, allowing us to really determine, is there arsenic in the water, and then take the next step to remediate it. Yeah.
That's very impressive work, and something the world really, I mean, it's something the world really needs as well, though, so you're doing great stuff already. But I do want to talk to you about balancing athletics and academics, because I've had friends who are engineers, and I never saw them, and they weren't doing athletics on top of that. So what do you think you learned about how to balance those things, and how did Santa Clara really support you in your endeavors to be a successful athlete and a successful student?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Logistically, it's been a challenge at times. My sophomore year, though, we switched to 7 a.m. practice, so that for me was a big sort of load off my shoulders in terms of freeing up my time in the afternoon, because I have a lot of labs I get to go to, and so practicing early in the morning frees me up in the afternoon to sort of run a double on my own, and so, you know, that's just one practical way I can sort of get around it. You know, beyond that, just having good time management skills is sometimes challenging for college students. You know, there's so much going on, so many distractions, but I feel like I've become an expert in that, and just sort of really allocating my time in the right ways has allowed me to succeed in that area. But yeah, beyond that, Santa Clara has done a great job of encouraging me as a student and also as an athlete, right? So, you know, I was talking to Stacy earlier, and I was saying, oh, you know, Father Eng, the president of Santa Clara, he was at our red and white celebration at the end of the year for all the student athletes, and he gave mass, and that was great. 2 days later, he was at a research presentation I was giving. So, you know, it's people like that at Santa Clara who are involved in both spheres, you know, athletic and academic, who really make a difference for me as a student.
Well, great. Congratulations on this scholarship, and
thank you.
Thanks for coming up and telling us a little bit about the work you've done.
Great. Thanks again.